He changed the name to drop down.
Right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show, everybody, and everyone listening on Proper Football Radio as well. Welcome to the show. We've got Gary, myself, and Nigel on this week. So, how are you doing, fellas?
Well, I'm currently in the middle of a thunderstorm with lots of lightning, heavy rain, rumbling thunder everywhere, man. It's mental.
Yeah. How are you, Nigel?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. It sounds like I'm having problems. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
mate.
This microphone keeps going.
A bit distorted, though, mate.
Yeah, I'll have to try and sort this microphone out. Let me try and sort the microphone out.
All right, mate. We'll just carry on. No, we had that storm down here about an hour ago, girl. It was like a tornado.
Mate, obviously, I've been down.
Oh, you've turned into a Dalek, mate.
Really bad. Like drains are not. This football page. What's that say?
I think the internet.
Like one of the streams having connection issues.
I think
presumably that means
you're a bit of connection issue there, girl.
Sorry.
All right, let's get back on board. I think you're buffering a bit there, mate. Right, let's crack on. Lots of football this weekend. Unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of it because we've been busy on the radio station. Have you seen much football this weekend, Nigel?
Sorry, guys, I'm having problems with this microphone at the moment.
Can hear you though, mate.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like you boys have been busy on the radio, haven't you? So like 24 hours with you boys, the radio and football. But yeah, been watching the football this week. It's been some good football, and even today, it's been some good matches.
Yeah, a couple of big surprises, weren't there today? Tottenham losing out to Newcastle, or is that a surprise anymore? I don't know.
I don't know. Newcastle are flying at the moment, aren't they? So I think they're sort of like slipping under the radar with their performances. Everyone's still got their eye on sort of Liverpool and Man City and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think they'll have a good season this year.
Because you hear all the hype about they could get the top six, and I was just thinking, well, they haven't bought like everyone thought they was going to buy. But fair play to Eddie Howe, they've been consistent this season, haven't they? What are they now?
I think that's the main word for this season: consistent.
Yeah,
any size, any sort of consistency at all levels, really.
Yeah.
Especially the Championship. I mean, like Watford 4-0 today, but they'll probably go and lose the next two again.
Great performance today.
So they had two big derbies today, weren't there? Watford, Luton, and Swansea, Cardiff, and that was 2-0 to Swansea, wasn't it? Who's top of the league today? Queen's Park Rangers are top of the league today, the Championship. It switches every day, doesn't it? But they're having a great season, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they lost to Luton 3-0 last week.
Yeah, you can say they're all having a great.
You know what I mean? And we can then go and beat Luton 4-0 today. It's like the Championship. It's mad.
Any teams that string more than 2 or 3 matches together, they're going to be up the top again, aren't they? So, So listen, what are your views on how Ronaldo's getting treated at Man United? Because probably shouldn't have done what he's done when he walked off a minute before the game. But having said that, he wanted to go in the summer, and they wouldn't let him go. So they're not going to let him go. Surely you've got to play him. You know, with the World Cup coming up. He needs to get match fitness. So I can understand his frustration at the moment. I think like Man United are just holding him around at the moment. I think they're bang out of order.
It feels spiteful, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's being forced now to sort of send a grovelling apology to Ten Hag. But you know, if you ain't going to use him, he's 37. He's won the Ballon d'Or. He's won all the major awards. He's 37. He ain't got too many years left playing at the top level. So if you're not going to give him a starting place, let him go somewhere else where he can start the game.
But did no one not come in for him in the transfer window though? Because he wanted a Champions League side, didn't he? Ten
Hag's theory is he's useful to Man United from the bench. So he's saying, when the game is changing and we're losing, I'll bring him on.
Yeah.
So if you think he's a match winner, why are you going on from the start? It's like Graham Taylor used to say, why is it in the last 5 minutes of a match when the team's losing by 1 goal, they start getting the ball forward early, they start hitting 40-yard passes. Why is it they do that? It's because I think that's the quickest way to score a goal. So if that's the quickest way, why don't they do it from the start of the match?
Yeah. I don't slightly different opinion about Ronaldo. I just think he's I don't know. You're speaking as an ex-pro, Nigel. If you was on the pitch and you see one of your players just walk off before the end when you win it, wouldn't it piss you off a bit? Or wouldn't you care about that?
Not really, because you don't know what's gone on off the pitch, do you, to make him walk off? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, wanting to bring him on with a minute to go is, I mean, like, come on. I mean, I had that done to me at Watford.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone. He's walked off early,
folks. You know, I don't know really with the Ronaldo situation, because you're quite right. I sort of think it feels a bit spiteful what they're doing, but at the same time, you know, the arrogance to walk off the pitch like that with the rest of the team there.
Yeah, the club's bigger than the player. The fans are bigger than the player. Yeah. He's on a lot of money.
Does Ronaldo think that? I mean, no, I don't know.
Someone made a good point.
Across a bit arrogant.
He's never been put in this position. He's never been in this position before, has he? He's getting to the end. He's always been the main man at every club he's been. So
he's got to remember he's 37 years old now, isn't he?
Yeah, you would forgive him, but yeah, it was totally classless, I thought. But I can see why I've done it. He's got a massive ego because he's a top best player in the world. But yeah, just lacks a bit of class. But he's apologised now, so I think he's done well. I've got a couple of comments here. Oh, Norman McGuigan.
Dan, just to say, mate, you're gonna have to keep an eye on them because I can't see any comments at all.
No, here we go. Right. So Norman McGuigan, hello Norman. Stormy Norman, hope you're keeping well. He said Spurs got done like a kipper. He's a Newcastle fan, isn't he, Norman? Ben Cliff, evening gentlemen. Hope you're all good. My stress levels are all at all-time high. Yesterday, watching my beloved Kisgrove Athletic beating Bootle 2-1 at home with 9 men. Absolute heroes, bloody hell. He's also goes on to say about Cristiano Ronaldo, we'll be gone in January. If any of us walked out on our jobs early, we'll be fined or sanctioned. I'm a big fan of CR7, but he's employed at Man United, even though if he doesn't want to be there. He's employed by them, getting paid fortunes. I wouldn't be complaining if I was him. No sympathy. No, I'm with Ben on that one. Totally on Ben.
It's easy to say that, though. He ain't been a footballer, Ben. Like when you're playing football and you're enjoying your football, you've gone. You know, you've got to look at all aspects of why Ronaldo wants to get away. You know, and they didn't want to let him go in the summer. Well, what's the point in keeping a player if he don't want to play for you? And if you're not going to play him, let him go. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, that's right. Glenn Smithson says we need a striker at Preston North End. Yeah, they lost in their Lancashire derby, didn't they, yesterday at Blackpool 4-2. Big game that was. Jeff Thompson, hi lads, Darlow fan watching. Hello, Jeff. Norman said that's what happens when you cheat. Short memories of Rooney, wink wink. Yeah, that Ronaldo. Yeah, I just personally think he's shown a lack of class, but I get why he's done it. You cut off Nigel when I was talking, but I said he's never been in this position before, has he? So he's always been the main man. I
was put in that position at Watford. All right, I played all pre-season in the reserves because I had a big fallout with Taylor before the end of the season before. So none of them spoke to me, the coaches or anything. I played in the reserves right up until the first game of the season. And John Barnes had a slight injury, and Graham Taylor said, if Barnsley don't pass his fitness test, you're playing. This was the first game against Oxford. Now, I was still on the transfer list at the time. 2 minutes to go before the end of the Oxford match, we're 4-0 up. no one's injured, and he told me to get warmed up. I'm going on. And I said, are you joking? And he went, Charlton Athletic have come in for it, but can be your way of saying goodbye to the fans. But, you know, like, I'd have had every reason then to have walked off if I wanted to. It's just, there's a lot of other things going on that people don't know about, and you've got to take that into consideration.
No, definitely.
I think the thing is, Nigel, I think listening to both sides of the story, I think, Nigel, you've seen it from your experience in top flight football and how a player can be very badly treated. Clearly, there is a real bad thing going on at United with the Ronaldo situation, and you're seeing it from that point of view, which fans really relate. So it's good for you to relay that to everyone. I think I do think as well. There's you know, as he made rod for his own back. Again, we're never ever going to truly know, but it is good to hear both sides of the fence. You know, at the end of the day, a player, you know, it can affect him mentally. And I would imagine with Ronaldo, he's sort of reached a level of that game wherein almost I find him a little bit arrogant, I have to be honest, but he's then, I guess, earned that right to be arrogant in the game.
He just wants to score goals, doesn't he?
It's harder for a player to take that type of treatment, a player like him, than any other player, really. So
Ben's going on about the 300 grand a week. Listen, he's not bothered about the 300 grand. He wants to play football. That's what it's all about. Back in the day when you used to get appearance money, all right, this footballers used to get appearance money in their contracts. So if you get on the pitch, you get your appearance money. So managers, if we were 3-0 up, they'd get the subs on so they could earn their appearance money, even if it was only for a minute of the game. That was like a little pat on the back. But that don't happen anymore. You don't hardly get appearance money because you get so much money in the first place. So I do think it's the fact that he's on the bench that's frustrating him, not the fact that he's, you know, they can fine him 2 weeks' wages. He's not bothered about that either. He wants to play football. He's got a World Cup coming up in 2 months' time.
He wants to break records and score goals, doesn't he? I think it's just the sheer frustration of it.
In the case of Ronaldo, on what Ben had mentioned there, I think that guy don't need money. So I don't think it is about the money with him.
No.
I hear what Ben's saying, though. He's on £10 an hour. You know, why would you be moaning about sitting on the bench for 100? I get all that. But unfortunately, with Ronaldo, I think he's reached a point now where money's irrelevant. He's that bloody rich. It doesn't matter, does it? So it is about wanting to play football with Ronaldo. That's my view.
Yeah. They got a late winner against Chelsea, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
They did play in that. So we'll see. We've got
Casemiro. How do you pronounce that name?
Who's that?
Casemiro.
He looks like a fat Ronaldo. I think he's got a puffed out Ronaldo. Don't know. Just jumping back in the Championship, we've got a Coventry fan here, and we're just saying how tight that league is. And Coventry are bottom, but they played less games because of the debacle with their pitch.
Yeah,
it's gone. What a great week for Coventry City guys. 3 games. 4 goals, none conceded, 9 points. So, but they're still like third, fourth from bottom. But you wouldn't be surprised if they just ping up the league.
Mate, anyone can. That Championship's mental, mate.
Yeah.
So everyone's beating everyone. You know, even though like QPR at the top, like we said, Luton beat them 3-0 this week. Luton lose 4-0 last week. Luton lose 4-0 this week. It is an amazing league. That's what you want, innit? That's what you want. League. You won't ever get that in Premiership to that level, will you?
Got a few, few of those
That's what you want out of a league. You want that complete
Darren Fulham
competition.
Swansea City fan here, just putting some big hearts up there. The great winter day. There was another great game for Swansea in the South Wales derby. John Burgess is on. Millwall Gary, hope you're well, mate. Ain't spoken for a long while.
They're doing well, aren't they?
Yeah, very well. Very, very well. Ian Hills, great day to be a Watford fan. Stephen Park and I, Gary, I've been up to watch Leeds United. They got beat by Fulham. Yeah, that was Fulham doing well. But no, you're right, Nigel. Millwall were doing very, very well. Very good side.
Mate, against Watford Wednesday night, they look shit up, mate. Yeah. I thought they look quality Wednesday night, Millwall.
Yeah, they're up there. They've been quite consistent, haven't they, Wall? I think they're West Brom at home. So when you thought West Brom might have turned their fortunes around after getting rid of Bruce, but they did win one game and then back to losing ways. But No, Millwall looking very strong. Norwich City. I mean, it's so many teams, aren't there? Right, getting loads of comments coming here. Ben Cliff's come back. If he isn't going to play football if he throws his toys out the pram and acts like a child, train hard, knuckle down, work your ass off, and your class will come through. Yeah, no, good.
He don't need to do it anymore. He's at the end of his career, though, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. He's playing for this World Cup now, and I think that's going to be the pinnacle. But he's not going to be fit for it if he don't get match practice.
He's on his last legs, let's be honest, right? He's 37 years old. He don't need money, so I don't think money comes into the equation with him because he's set up for life, isn't he? And
he's just a winner.
I think he wants to play because he ain't got long left, and I think that's what we've got to think about. He's 37 years old. There's a World Cup in a few weeks' time. Like Nigel says, he could play in that. It's his swan song, isn't it? It's his, and he could miss out on that. So I guess you can understand the frustration he's got, but at the same time, you can understand possibly he's made a rod for his own back as well. But the club do seem to be spiteful about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've not followed it well enough to fully comment. But I do think that one of the problems we've got with Ronaldo is he's on his last legs. It's his swan song, possibly to get the World Cup, like you said. He's probably looking at this in maybe the last season he could ever play in the Champions League. That's maybe why he wanted out and get to a champ, because he knows he's come to the end of the career. But anyway, enough about it, I think.
Let's have a look at the old sack race, Gary. Just put this video on because there's another sack in this week.
Mary Poppins, I am not. Repeating again, you're like a parrot. 5. Like people, there's little chickens and big chickens. You're 5. A loose cannon. You're 5. Like a bull in the China's drop. Oh, you're 5. Like a bull in the China's drop. Oh, you're 5. Mary Poppins, I am not. Like people, there's little chickens and big chickens.
Yeah. There he is, Stephen Gerrard.
So
sacked this week. A bit of a surprise, wasn't it? It was straight after the game at Fulham, wasn't it? I doubt if he even got a lift home on the coach. But it was a shocking performance from Villa. But
then they go and win 4-0 against Brentford today.
And that speaks volumes of maybe there was upset in the changing room there after what happened with Mings with the captaincy. But to be 3-0 up in 15 minutes. Did you watch the game, Nigel, today?
No, I had other things to do. But again, it seems to happen every time that a team sack the manager, the team goes out the next match and wins.
Yeah.
So, you've got to question the attitude of the players then. If they play like that one game, but they don't want to play like that in the game before when the manager's there. Again, players got too much power.
Have you been at clubs where the manager's been sacked, Nigel, when they lost the dressing room? Or
yeah, I was at Villa when Joseph Bengals got sacked. But Doug Ellis told everyone he could speak fluent English. He couldn't hardly speak English. So we had John Ward was speaking for him most of the time, but he lasted one season, and they brought Ron Atkinson in. But when I was at Watford, Taylor was there all the time, and obviously when I was at Derby, Arthur Cox was in charge. So probably Bengals the only one I played under that's got sacked.
So where do you think Gerrard can go from here now? It's a tough one for him, isn't it?
Go on a nice holiday, I imagine. I would have a break for a while if I was him.
Like for his football career, the managerial career, what can he do now?
There'll be another club comes in for him. But
will it be a Premier League club, or do you think he needs to drop down a bit?
Well, I don't know. You could have said that about Lampard, though, couldn't you?
Just about to say Lampard.
Yeah. Good point.
He might. Rooney came to Derby, didn't he? To learn his trade. I mean, I just think that there's some big clubs in the Championship anyway. If one of them came in for him, he might consider it. He just needs to keep taking the jobs and learning from it. It's impossible for somebody to go into the first managerial job, second one, and just wave a magic wand and everything's going to happen. Obviously, things weren't happening at Villa, so like we say, it's a business these days. You don't get a whole season to get your team ready and get your team playing the way you want them to play. It's got to be immediate, isn't it?
And talking of sacking, someone just mentioned Jesse March. They're asking you, Nigel, what do you think of Jesse March? Could he go from Leeds United? I wouldn't be surprised because they've been pretty poor. That week I watched them against Palace, and they started well. Leeds, 100 miles an hour, pressing us. We couldn't get out of our own half. and they scored 1-0 up. Then when we got a goal back, when they went 1-0 up, they didn't settle down and control the game. They were just 100 miles an hour still. There's no plan B. So you can't do that for an whole game. And we got one back, and then we went on to win the game. I just think Leeds are a bit one-dimensional, 100 miles an hour, and they don't know how to see a game out.
Who did he manage before he came to Leeds then?
Oh, God. Was it in America, wasn't it? Or was he in Germany? Can't think. I don't know. Some college team in America? I don't know. Someone probably know on here. Yeah, Gerrard.
Again, you're coming from a league that's not in the same class as the Championship or the Premiership.
No.
And then they're bringing the manager in to sort of try and do the job in there.
Yeah. I think Gerrard took too big of a job early on in his career. He should have stayed at Rangers for another 12 to 18 months. That's from Ryan Deeney. And he'll said Gerrard back to Rangers, maybe. The current manager is under pressure. Yeah, what's his name? Is God, who's the Rangers manager now? Can't think of his name. Dutch fella, isn't he? Van Bronckhorst.
Van Bronckhorst, yeah.
But yeah, he might go back up there. But I think Gerrard's still got a bit of
Thing is, listen, the Scottish League's probably equivalent of the top half of League One in England.
No.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't think he's going to do any. I don't think he's going to learn anything more going back to Rangers or Celtic.
No, maybe going abroad. I don't know. Maybe trying something. But I don't know. He's my favourite all-time Premier League. Well, it was a life before the Premier League, but best favourite player, Steven Gerrard, English player. I think he was an amazing player. So I've still got a bit of a want him to do well as a manager, but yeah, no, he's gone. So I don't know who Villa going to go for now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what direction he goes in as well. But a 4-0 win today, like you say, Nigel, just shows you the players weren't playing for him. They're obviously capable. Because Brentford are no mugs, are they? Let's be honest.
No. Right, should we drop down into League One?
Yeah.
On the Championship. I know Simon was happy. Simon Wilton, one of us, he's Bristol Rovers fans. They was 2-0 down home to Plymouth and come back 2-2. Good result there for them. There was quite a few good comebacks, weren't there? Burnley at Sunderland, they was 2-0 down. I believe they come back to 4-2. That was in the Championship. But there was there's some good results then. How did Derby get on the weekend, Nigel?
They lost 1-0 to Ipswich.
Oh, Friday night, yeah. They're flying, aren't they? Flying.
Yeah, they're up there, aren't they?
Down in League Two.
There's about three of them. Plymouth, Argyle, Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday sort of breaking away a little bit at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, Portsmouth had a good away win. But no, yeah, it's looking like a tough. Well, to see pick a winner out of that lot, I don't know. But Ipswich are looking very good. I love their new manager, the Man United bloke who come from Man United. Can't think of his name. But there's a lot of good stuff going on at Ipswich at the minute. League Two, let's have a little look there. Leyton Orient, I think they're back on top. They had a great win at Carlisle United, 3-2. Stevenage are having a good season, all in Northampton. So again, I mean, that last year, that was probably the best league to watch. It was so tight, wasn't it?
How come Ipswich are wearing black shirts now?
It was a one-off.
Was it?
Yeah, because they're sponsored. Ed Sheeran, the big musician, he was one of their main sponsors. He's put a load of money into them.
Yeah.
And they said, and he designed that black kit, and it sold like 13,000 shirts, I think.
Yeah, but Ipswich are blue.
Yeah, so they said that. I listened to their chairman the other day on the or one of their leading officials, and he said that we got a bit of stick from the fans. We said it's just a one-off, and it's just to show it, and it's just about earning money. It's just like the brand because the shirt has done so well in sales. And Ed Sheeran designed the shirt evidently. So that was the reason for that, mate.
That again is saying the football club's a business. It's not a football club anymore. It's a business.
Yeah.
So
we've got Gary.
He will change the colour of the shirts.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, it is all
I'm
about
just saying
business.
hello to people on the. I can't see the chat this week for some reason, but because I'm obviously we're putting this through the radio now. Hello, everyone in Radio Land. I can see comments coming through on YouTube, so I thought I'd say hello to everyone. Hello, everyone on YouTube.
All right. Right, what's the time? Should we have a little bit of a funny old game?
Yeah, go on, mate. I've got a great rant later and all.
Oh, yeah, Gary's rant. Right, funny old game. Right, Nigel, could you see yourself wearing a pair of these, mate? New Adidas Gucci range. That's something like Pippi Longstocking used. The Longstocking.
How much are they?
1,230 quid for the boots. The loafers.
1,230 for them black ones.
So here's a question to all you lads out there, right? Who have to get the latest Adidas, put them in the box, stick them in the loft, and have your array of hundreds of pairs of Adidas. Are you going to buy any of them? I'll tell you what, I'll go a step further. Will you go to the next football match in a pair of them?
Even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy any of them. Right, there's a nice bit of a nose bag here at Yate Town last weekend. Pork stuffing, crackling applesauce, chips and gravy for £5. Look at that. Look at that nice bit of cracking there.
Mate,
lovely bit of food.
Yeah, Ian Ells has just said, no chance. I thought that'd get a few comments.
Yeah.
I reckon there'd be someone out there.
New Watford manager. You don't do politics in here, but you can't help but laugh, can you?
Mate, you weren't on last week, were you? Because I put up a picture saying that the Pozzos had now become integral in the UK government, and put up a picture of
I did watch it.
I think it's been worked out at, and that but that was for the Chancellors, and now you've got the PMs. So Watford's still in the lead, though. By the way, I think 3-2.
Yeah, right. A couple of funny clips
in
now.
the months.
This is a great finish, but unfortunately, it's in the wrong goal. Let's watch that again. What a finish. You're proud of that, Nigel.
What's that keeper trying to head the frigging ball?
Well, he can't pick it up because it's back pass. He should have done.
And for those on Radio Land, we've just shown a video of a player. Looks like, well, I don't know, he's trying to pass it back to the keeper. But I've got to look at the keeper on that one as well. Yes.
Let's see it again.
He was 5'8". He was 5'6" when he jumped.
On that, sure.
But no, if you'd have caught it, girl, it's a free kick, isn't it?
The keeper, right? The ball comes over, yeah. The guy, all right, is a bit of a funny way of doing a pass back, but I'm sure he's expecting the keeper to put his hands in the air to go, got it. The keeper's stood giving it some of that.
Right, this is another goalkeeper having a bit of a throwing his toys at the pram after a penalty.
Again, for everyone in Radio Land, we've just shown a video. Yeah. Sorry you can't see the videos.
Right, Nigel, this one, I'll show this next video, but have you ever been involved in a pitch where there's been a serious bust up with the players? I'll show you first. This was Saturday, Real against Bangor, I don't know how you pronounce it, in Wales. And this got very lively. 7 red cards, I think there was.
Wow.
Send him off, referee. Somebody's got, come on. Yeah. Hey! You're down to 9.
You should be down to 9.
and
Well,
see the videos.
I don't know what's up with the order there, but yeah,
People on the radio, mate.
They look like the Munchkins.
they look like for us watching on here, they look like
out of the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
Munchkins,
I
I
was
think.
just about to say, for us on here, not for everyone else out there, but just for everyone else's benefit, they look like the Oompa Loompas out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on our screen. They did, man. That was funny, but I think they look normal on the other ones, mate.
Yeah, but I think there was
Right,
seven
lads.
sending off. The
I've got
referee
something for you. I've got something for you. Look, Benzema won the Ballon d'Or
He did,
the other
yeah.
day. Have we ever had an Englishman or Premiership player win the Ballon d'Or? And yet,
Michael Owen, did he?
it's meant to be the best league in the world, and yet no player from the Premier League ever seems to win the Ballon d'Or. What's going on there then?
We don't get a look in, do we?
No.
Did Michael Owen win it when he was at Madrid? I
I
don't know. Someone might be able
Exactly,
to
when
tell
he's
us.
at Madrid.
Well, yeah.
They don't like us. As Millwall
No.
say, no one likes us. We don't care. We are England.
Keegan probably won it at Hamburg.
England.
Did they have the Ballon d'Or back then when Keegan was playing?
Yeah, it's just a strange
They,
one.
they,
Isn't
they
it?
know what they can do with their Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. It's nice to see someone else win it, though, apart from Messi and Benzema's been brilliant.
It's still Real Madrid or Barcelona all the time, isn't it?
Yeah. It's interesting, since Ronaldo left Real Madrid, Benzema has really come of his own. Well, last season, wasn't it, when they beat Liverpool in the final? No, he's been great. Right, that's the funny old game over. So nice. Did you have any involved in any massive punch-ups on the pitch that got out of hand?
No, we was when I played football, men were men, you know, you got clattered, you had squared up to each other sometimes on the pitch. And then after the match, you're having a drink with the guy in the players' lounge, you know. So you just got, you know, you accepted the referee's decisions, even though you might not have agreed with them, you had to accept them. And I've not really seen any rules like that on a match that I've played in. Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, like, you can't start on the ref, no matter what standard of football you're playing at.
No, it's shocking. Totally shocking. Right, before I forget, this proper football defibrillator fund we're doing, trying to raise, they're £1,075 a defibrillator, and kindly London Hearts Organisation, a big charity, are going to give us 300 quid towards it, and they supply it. So we've got to raise 715 quid, I think, we've got to raise. So we've already raised a couple of £100 already. So we're doing football cards. It's £5 a team. So you pick your team, you write your name in, and then when it's full up, there's a little grey square in the top. We'll scratch that off, and it reveals the winning team. 125 quid to the winner, and 125 quid in the fund. So if you want to have a go on that, get in touch with us on our Facebook page, Twitter, anywhere, YouTube. This goes out on YouTube, and just get in touch with us, and we'll sort you out. You can pay straight into the GoFundMe, or you can send me the £5, and we'll do it that way. But yeah, please get involved in that. That's the card at the moment, so there's still plenty of teams to be taken. Right. Anything do you want to have your rant now, Gary?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I think it's going to create some level of debate, I guess.
Go on in, mate.
Gary's rant. Right, okay. Some people are going to really dislike what I say, I think. Or disagree. So look, obviously we had our local derby today. Watford Luton, first time in 17 years with fans. And the club probably spent all week trying to sterilise the whole concept of the rivalry, you know. And I'll tell you what they've done. I've got a couple of letters here that came from the club, which was issued to all the fans. The first one was a letter, and I'm not going to put them up, and I think, because I don't know, get in trouble for that. But certainly, a letter came direct from Watford to the supporters about basically about not using a certain chant. And how they put it to us was, while we certainly would not want to dampen anyone's enthusiasm for Sunday's game, and we encourage you to be noisy in your support of the team, we would like to remind everybody that the use of the G word in chants is both contrary to our image and deeply offensive. We would also class this as hate crime in the eyes of the law, and as such could result in arrest and ejection from Vicarage Road. Now the first thing on
Gary,
that was,
the G word, girl?
what the hell's the G word?
Is it Gary?
Is it a ghost?
Gary Harris.
I automatically started thinking gay, you know, with all the LGBT stuff that goes on. And then I'm thinking, but there are no chants with, I've never ever heard a chant with gay in it. And it turns out, and I know the chant has been around for decades. It was around, you know, when I was a youngster, and it's, the word is Jippo. Try typing that into Facebook, mate, and you'll get a ban. Same as pikey as well. Yeah, okay, so we all know Jippo is a slang word for gypsy, I guess. Well, anyway, it's used in banter towards Luton fans, yeah? It's not a slur. Well, I suppose it is a slur in some respects to the travelling community, but it's not meant for that. It's meant just to be a bit of a dig at Luton fans. And there are a couple of chants that have been around for so many years, and they end in you stinky Jippo. Right. Anyway, you probably heard it. Those listening would have heard it at a number of different clubs. It's quite a common thing when you're having a go at your rivals. Okay. So anyway, that came out. So basically now, if we do that chant and finish it off like that, there's every possibility you're going to get arrested because they've now deemed it as hate crime. I don't know who deems these words as hate crime anymore. I don't know. Is there a committee or something sits in somewhere and says, "Oh, we decide this week that word's going to be hate crime. You can be arrested and put in prison for it." I don't know. But then another letter come out. And again, slightly reworded in pretty much the same statement as what I said before, except this time, any chant involving discriminatory language will be dealt with in exactly the same way. So, I don't know. You know, there's a blurred line between, but football is what it has always been. There's a problem at the moment where you've got the old and the new. The old people, and when I say the old football type of supporter and the new one, the old football supporter is someone who wants to go along to the game, have it rowdy. And I'm not talking about football violence now. Let's put that out of the whole picture here, all right? What I'm talking about is the rowdy, you know, yeah, we're going to, all right, shout some abuse at the away fans. They're going to shout it back. We're all going to have a rowdy, jolly, noisy, loud, knees up, Mother Brown type game. Now, I said some time ago that one of the problems I see, you've got the new type of modern day supporter, and then you've got the old school type of supporter. And the problem we now face is we've got a clash of culture almost. And it's really made worse by the fact that clubs and the authorities decided many years ago that no longer you can designate that part of the ground for that. So back in the day, even in the 80s when it was bad, everyone knew where to go in the ground. If you didn't want to hear bad language, you knew where to go. If you didn't want to be rowdy and noisy, you knew where to go in the ground. That don't happen anymore because no one knows where that, you know, it's all spread around the stadium. So you haven't got that level of segregation between the different types of fans. They're all mixing. So you've got people, you know, you say, "Oh, fucking hell, ref. Sorry for swearing, but I'm trying to make a point here, people. Oh, you're a fucking wanker, ref, right? Sorry for swearing again, but I've got trying to make a point, right?" And then the person behind is like, "Oh, I'm going to report you to a steward because I'm not happy. I find that offensive," right? Now, football is what it is to the people that have grown up with it for many years, and even the younger generation that have been brought up around that type of football support where you have the rough, ready, rowdy, yes, bad language. Today, I witnessed 18,000 people probably getting a 10-year life ban from Watford because the G word was used quite loudly in defiance. But my rant is they bang on about inclusiveness and equality. Well, no, that's a load of bollocks Because if that was the case, why are you trying your damned hardest to put the old school football supporter who has for 40, 50 years gone to games to have that rowdy, and please remember, I'm not talking about football violence, but that rowdy type of support. So there's no equality because you want us out. You want that support out. You don't want us to go there and let a bit of steam off and have a sing-song and have a chant that's been there for 40 years that someone in an office has now deemed as hate crime. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And for all those fans that don't like it, well, I'm sorry. You weren't there 30 years ago, right? So you're going to have to come up with a solution where the new and the old can find a balance and live in harmony, because the old ain't going away. And that was proven today at Watford.
It's the world we live in now, girl.
Watford.
Sorry. I think there's actually steam coming out your ears now, girl.
Well, they blur the line between hate crime and what has been a chant for 40 years.
Yeah.
Who makes that decision? Who is making these decisions
it's about the way the world now,
and what ain't?
You can't do anything. We know the level of the stuff people can say, and you can't. It's not clear. But
level, of course we do.
Yeah, but yeah, it's get ridiculous. And girl, this actually moves on. Just talking about how we're treated as fans now, and I've put this article up on our Facebook page, and it's a brilliant. It's an open letter that the my club, Crystal Palace, the Homesdale Fanatics, they get a bit of stick, but they're good lads. They've written an open letter to the Premier League. Now, I'm going to read it out. I was going to take bits out, but it only take me a couple of minutes to read, and you'll get the gist of this letter. So it goes, years of chronic neglect by the Premier League have left supporters at our lowest ever standing, exploited and sidelined in a game no longer working for us. To spearhead their growing anger, we have kicked off a campaign with a hand-delivered letter to the Premier League demanding fan representation that gives supporters direct involvement in shaping the decisions that impact us. The league's fixation on profit and global expansion over the needs of fans has left supporters at the mercy of rip-off home tickets, ridiculous kick-off times, fixtures being changed at the last minute, and sterile, over-regulated stadiums in any other sector being treated as an afterthought would see people vote with their feet. But the Premier League knows the loyal supporters have for their team and cynically exploits this. Now, it goes on to mention about the German model and how we should learn lessons from that. But they're just saying there's urgent action is needed to set games in stone well in advance while affordable train tickets are still available. They don't care. They're going about Arsenal's £1,000 a season ticket, Bayern Munich's £150. And they're just saying, where they go? They just say, just last week on our away day at Leicester, when Palace played up there, their most vocal home section was swamped by stewards targeting them for standing. And there were countless stories like this every weekend. And it's a have a look at it. I won't read it all because it does go on a lot, but it's a fantastic letter. And action has got to be taken because the game is being ruined for the fans, for proper fans. Look, and you just nailed it. What you just said there, Gary, as well.
Look, listen. I completely understand that there has to be a level of respect. If you've got a family there with 2 kids, there has to be a level of respect. I completely get that. And what I'm saying is that we have to find a balance in a stadium, even where people know that they can go to that part of the ground and it's going to be all right. And that part where it used to be, all the rowdy people would be in the terracing, and those that didn't want to be rowdy used to be in the seats, before all seated stadiums. But I do understand that you've got to have a level of respect for everyone, but there has to be a happy medium. They bang on about the equality, yet it's so clear. I mean, look. Funny enough, I watched a video, right, about as an American guy comparing the USA atmosphere in a football ground to that in Europe, right? And honestly, they went through these Americans. You know what they're like? They're really quite pathetic. And then they went to Europe, and quite honestly, they went to probably 10 clubs and showed the support. And the support is just crazy. I mean, absolutely mental, and the Americans. And the only English grounds that were shown out of the 10 in Europe, I think, was one at Chelsea and possibly one at Tottenham, I'm not sure now. And it wasn't English clubs fans that they were filming. It was the away fans from Europe. Yeah. So in this country right now, we're already very sterile compared to the rest of the European Leagues fans what they can have. All right, I'm not saying.
This goes on to talk about. Yeah,
but we're already sterile. Our atmospheres are way behind that of Europe.
Yeah, no. They go on to talk about this. He said, instead of tackling the core issues facing supporters, the Premier League recently chose to demonise fan behaviour and threatened year-long bans and to toughen the approach to stadium management. Much of its focus was on the use of pyrotechnics when it's normalised in many leagues and world scale, even legal in some places. And he's just saying that you said it about the European leagues. The atmosphere is amazing. You see them shared all the time. I know pyrotechnics, there's dangers of them and all that, but yeah, European football used to be like the English game was the best atmosphere. You couldn't beat it. It ain't at all now. It's not at all.
No, it's way down. Even Iceland get better atmosphere.
Yeah, but I'm going to try and get one of these homestyle for that. I've reached out to them, and I'm going to get one of them to come on the show and talk about it because I said we've been banging on about this for ages. What's going on here?
But I do say, and I go back. I mean, yes, I use bad language because I was trying to make the point. So I apologise for my bad language. But the point had to be made. But I must say, it's not about the old style of supporter should be, oust the new type of supporter, the modern supporter, whatever you want to call it. But there needs to be found a balance where the new and the old can.
Yeah, but there's not like you said today. The old ground was rocking. It was good. It's a minority of people. Who are picking up the stink.
Right. Maybe I'm being a bit too PC on it because you're right. The truth of the matter was, I heard some real obscenities coming out the family stand at Watford today.
Yeah,
the whole stand was up.
Did you report
shouting some proper language at the Luton fans? Yeah. This is the family stand. I looked around. I was in the Elton John stand, and that's normally a very subdued stand. That was banging, and there weren't nobody not getting involved. And that makes me wonder that these people that get so offended, where are they? You know, I do wonder that. And how many of them are there? But I do believe there just needs to be a balance between them that want to go and not hear bad language and stuff like that with their kids. I do believe there has to be that balance. I do believe there has to.
Ben's saying here, you can tell these people don't go to lower league games. Some of the stuff we're at Kids Grove level is unreal. So yeah, Kids Grove, I think I'm not sure what level they are, 8. But I went to a Kids Grove game at Widnes, and some of the abuse they was giving the Widnes players was like, even I was like, Jesus, I can't say that. And because it's a massive ground, there's about 80 people there, I think, the crowd, but you could hear everything.
Yeah, I mean, Nigel, I know you're different side of the fence to us, and you've obviously been in stadiums with the different types of atmosphere, you know. So I do understand that you might even have a different perspective from what I've said, you know, but it's as an old school supporter, I find it so hard to keep being told you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you can't say this, you can't say that. And all I ever wanted to do when I went to football was go there, have a laugh, have a giggle, have a knees up with the lads. Yes, have a bit of banter with the away. That's what it was all about. Yeah. And they just want to take that away. But today, the club made a big effort this week to sterilise that derby. And sorry, Watford, but that's what the fans said to you over that.
People who you take your kids to a game, you know you're going to expect to read that. You're going to get bad language. It's just, I don't know, it's part of it's the passion that comes out in it. But yeah, it's John Sweeney said it's difficult not to get caught up in the emotion in real time. It's exactly that.
When I played football, went to grounds like Derby, baseball ground, Mill, the team, West Ham, Upton Park. Every time the ball went out of play and you went to pick it up, like the fans are really on top of you, and they're calling you everything under the sun. The fans, but in them days, it didn't bother me. You know, you just pick the ball up, you got on with the game. Like, you know, you're going to get abuse off the away fans. That was part of the parcel of the old days playing football. That's what it was. You know, you ain't going to get a pat on the back from an away fan. And they call you all the names under the sun, but it didn't bother us in them days. I mean, even the referees. I've swore at a few referees, well, quite a few referees over decisions, and some of them even swore back at us and told us to naff off, like, you know. Before they booked me, but they use that language as well. Some of them referees, so yeah, it's it's just too many people trying to change too many things with the game at the moment. You know, the World Cup in the winter, what's all that about? And it just seems to be people that are intent on changing the game that's been what they call it's an easy game. It's a simple game. Football's simple. Why are they trying to make it complicated?
Yeah, it's a very noisy minority that are trying to change the game, in my view.
I went to
very noisy minority.
Watched Everton Palace, unfortunately for me, on Saturday. Watched it on the telly, and I just know the Everton fans. It was so. I mean, they're right on the pitch, aren't they? It's really tight ground, but the amount of abuse they was giving the Palace players and every decision they're all shouting. But I think it was great, and you could see them just trying to. That's how they stayed up last season. The crowd, that passion comes through, doesn't it? It was. It's part of the game.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, one of the other things I meant to say in that as well. One of the other things that happened at the club as well, and I thought was brilliant. And honestly, fair play to the Luton fan who did this. But earlier in the week, a Luton fan came and put a hatter's hat on the Graham Taylor statue. Right now, maybe somewhat for fans say that's disrespectful, mate. Graham Taylor would have bloody loved that. That's what it's about. It's and that was like middle of the week. He's done it, and it's the start of the week building up to that rivalry. So 17 years we've been without that, and I thought it was brilliant. So their response was to wrap poor Graham up in a blanket and make him look like a mummy, and then put bloody fencing all round it. The old Villa coming out saying, "Oh yeah, we're having a massive presence. We'll be able to protect everyone," but you can't protect the Graham Taylor statue. I mean, I thought it was brilliant. That's what it's about, isn't it? You know, good old days.
Nigel, you got a story for us, mate, this week?
I haven't known, but I'm sorry about it.
Just make something up.
This radio show that's been taken up all the time.
You did a great show yesterday, Nigel. I'll just tell everyone, if you've not heard Proper Football Radio yet, please have a listen to it. It's easy to listen to. It's on our Facebook pages. You can listen on your Alexa, on your phone, all different ways. And also, we've got news of our new website, Gary, haven't we? Do you want to talk about it?
Yes. So, website is ready, folks. So, the website will be for Proper Football, for the radio, for the platforms, everything. And there'll be a lot more development being done on the website. But what it does mean, couple of important things for the radio station is that you can, go on the website. You'll be able to watch back a few of these shows as well. You'll be able to catch up, hopefully, in the future on shows that you may have missed. Also, especially for the radio, like I say, the important thing at the moment is one, you'll be able to listen through that. So if you're on your computer or even on your phone, you can click on the website. There's a play button on there for going straight onto the radio. So you can do that through the website. And also on there is a direct link to our WhatsApp group page and also the text line. So if you want to text a DJ who is playing for requests or whatever, there's a text line on there that you can use. And also we have a chat room in WhatsApp. It may be in the future we'll have our own private chat. There is one on there, and if you try going on it, you will see there is one, but we're not necessarily using it at the moment. But you can do it through the WhatsApp. The little WhatsApp logo's there. If you click it, it'll put you straight into the WhatsApp or join you to the WhatsApp chat room where you can interact with the DJs. And I just want to stress, though, that is for interacting with the DJs and it isn't a banter page or a gossip page, all right? Sorry, Dan, I can't get it in there. It's there. So when you got Nigel on, you can interact with Nigel and talk to him and everything else. And obviously talk amongst yourselves if you're enjoying Nigel's show. So are you ready?
The website address, Gal, is www.properfootball.co.uk.
As simple as that, folks. www.properfootball.co.uk. Have a look there anyway. There's
a couple of articles on there.
Yeah, there's a little bit on there to have a look at. Obviously, we've got a lot
of gallery
to be doing in the future. But right now, we're over the moon that we've actually managed to get one out on the weekend that we've released the radio station. And we will be developing the website heavily, and it will become our main cog for the whole proper football platform. So we're over the moon about that. And go on and have a look, folks. Have a gander.
Yeah. Right. Anything you thought of a story yet, Nigel? While we've been talking about the website. So, Gary, anything else you want to add? We've got about 5 minutes left. 4 minutes left.
No. Like I say, today, from our club, I guess 17 years, and from Luton, I went today, and I guess a lot of people have their rivalries and have it year on year. We went without ours for 17 years, and I'm sure every Luton fan would agree with me. We really missed that occasion. Like I say, the hat on the Graham Taylor stand. All right, the big police present. There was a little bit of hanky-panky, but the atmosphere in that's the best atmosphere at Watford for years.
No, they're great, the derby games, aren't they?
And we've missed that. And all I'll say to all of you out there who have your regular derbies, really enjoy them and savour them derby games, because until they're not there, you really don't know what you're missing. So yeah, enjoy your derby games, folks.
Where does it come from, Gal? The Luton Watford thing. Where does the Luton Watford rivalry come from? Is it just the area? How far apart are they? They're not that close to each other, are they?
15 miles.
What?
15, 18, 20 mile tops.
Do you play many derby games like that, Nigel?
Yeah, well, obviously the Watford Luton games were big derbies, but the Derby Forest rivalry was really big when I played at Derby. I mean, they eat and sleep football all week long, Derby supporters, and so I've got friends who are saying, if you don't beat Forest, I'll book 3 days off work, because they couldn't take the stick they're getting at work from the Forest fans. Yeah, they're big occasions. I'm glad Watford rose to the occasion today, because like the amount of foreign players we've got in a game at the moment, I don't really see whether they actually realise how much it means to the supporters of the big derbies. They don't realise the rivalry between the two clubs and the two fans. So, not unless, I grew up as a young boy at Watford, came right the way through the ranks, so I know how it works. But some of these players, they come in the clubs, they know it's a derby match, but I think some of them just don't know how much it really means to the fans.
Yeah. I think managers, a lot of the foreign managers don't realise it either, do they, with the clubs? But they soon learn it. I imagine they learn it. They know after today the rivalry, don't they? The atmosphere looked amazing.
Yeah. Just a comment there, John Sweeney. Rivalries will always be there. They will never die. They're part of the banter. He has also said he's a Villa fan and he misses their games against the Blues. And it's true. They're actually is a great example of what I'm saying. They're Villa and Birmingham. That they understand that, they know they miss it. And we missed it for 17 years. And today,
Ben's just saying that Stoke haven't played Port Vale for many years, so they missed their derby. We Brighton are Palace's biggest rivals, and we had a period of not playing each other for must have been 15, 16 years. They nearly went out of the league, didn't they? But I remember the first we played them, Steve Coppell was their manager after being ours, and we beat them 5-0. Andy Johnson hat-trick, and it was amazing. You just reminded her because you forgot about it, and a lot of fans hadn't actually experienced the derby. I bet a lot of the Watford fans today hadn't experienced the Watford game, the younger generation.
Yeah, well, if you think 17 years, right, this is 2006, so 16 and a half, 17 years. If you think in this particular derby that fans in there today would have been anyone under 25 to 30, probably wouldn't appreciate it. That's mad, isn't it, when you think of it that way?
Yeah. It's funny, Gal. We've shared posts on our page of like the Sunderland away support, a brilliant support, 3,000. I don't know where they took them. Long old journey, and the same with Plymouth somewhere. But you get the other fans, Newcastle fans, coming on. Well, we take more, and it's just like the rivalry. It's built in everyone.
Do you know what? We should do a show about derbies and why they exist, because, mate, I know that the Newcastle. The Newcastle Sunderland, mate, goes back in history, goes back to the Civil War and everything. It's like Millwall, West Ham. It goes back to the Docks.
The Dockers,
there's some amazing. There's some amazing historical facts around the derby. Maybe it's something we should do. But would you all agree? Who's listening? Should we do something like that?
Yeah.
We get a sort of something going where we explore the history of the derby.
No, when I was at Villa, Jim Walker, the physio, I was talking to him about the derbies and stuff. I don't know what brought it up, but I said to him, "What's the most frightening atmosphere you've had going to a derby match?" And he said, "Glasgow Rangers versus Celtic." He said, "That's the only time I've gone on that." And I felt a bit unsafe. He said the atmosphere was unbelievable around the ground. But yeah, I mean, there's so many, the Manchester derbies and
Liverpool, Manchester, and all. That's all about the canal, isn't it? And how they built the canal to cut out the shipyard and from Liverpool, and it's all different.
Yeah, it is amazing how even some of this even goes back to before football.
Yeah,
the Mackham and the Geordie thing. They football come along maybe 200 years after the actual big thing happened. It was all to do with the Civil War, Royalists versus Round. And I was speaking to them, and mate, we've got to look into it.
But the Pompey Southampton's about. They call them the. I won't say they were, but they took their work from the docks in Port. I can't remember which way round it was, but it'd be great to get some fans on.
After the language I've been using tonight,
It's fans that don't even mind if their team finishes below the other team, so long as they beat them twice that season.
Yeah.
So long as they won them derby games, I don't care sometimes whether Luton finish above Watford, but they haven't got promoted. Because it'll always be, but we beat you twice this year.
Yeah. And it don't matter where your club is, in what league, non-league. I know, like Ben, that Kidsgrove, they're right there, rivals a league town. And that's like, it's just as big for them as it is for Newcastle, Sunderland. Doesn't matter what size club you're in.
You've only got to look at that Stourbridge Hell's Owen.
Yeah.
Do you know the police made them play behind closed doors for a youth game?
Yeah. I mean, that's... It does. They do get out of hand. I mean, that's the downside of it. You get the violence, but that's Do
you know the problem is, and maybe this is why there is an agenda to try and sterilise football a little bit. I think with that level of passion, that territorial human instinct that is there, I think maybe it's inevitable that at some point. It's inevitable that at some point things will boil over, I guess, and passion and everything else. So, that side of it, okay, is the ugly side. I get that, but
it'd be good to do a show about derbies and rivalries, and
I think even a few parts.
Yeah, get a fan from each club on. Have a right ding dong.
Be good. It'd be good. Right, we get any feedback on that? Would that not be really, really good, people? If you're listening, would that not be really good to do sort of series of shows, really digging into some of the rivalries and where they stem from? Because there is some amazing storylines around that.
Right, we've gone over time. We've got to be careful with time now, girl.
We're in extra time, mate,
because of the radio. Because it cuts in, doesn't it? I don't know if we're still on there.
Nah, we should be all right.
Yeah. But well, I think that's it for this week, fellas. Unless you got anything else to add?
We're on the radio still.
Right.
Hello, everyone on the radio. Hello, everyone listening to the replays on the radio.
So, Gareth Williams saying Cardiff Swansea, the only derby which is a bubble for travelling fans. So, you have to, I think that happened to Millwall Cardiff as well. Or Millwall Leeds used to have to, the away fans would have to go to a service station to pick up their tickets, and then the police would bubble them up, wrap them up, and then take them in. So I
know. One year, Watford, you could only go to the game if you went on the coach, and they would give you your tickets on the coach, so you couldn't get round it.
Yeah.
So you would buy your ticket for the game and a coach ticket, but you wouldn't get your tickets until you went on the coach, so you couldn't go round the system. They did that one year at Luton.
I think there's a Pompey fan who lived in Southampton, and he had to. They was playing Southampton, Pompey, but he lived in Southampton. But he had to travel to Portsmouth because you had to meet at a certain place to get the tickets, and then be wrapped up and brought back into where he lived. Right. So I think that's it, fellas, for this show. Been a good show.
I've enjoyed it.
Nigel, you on Mixcloud tonight?
Yeah, I'll be on Mixcloud at 8:30. Had a good night last night.
Some great tunes.
Remember to catch us on the radio. Cally's on. Are you going to go on next Saturday?
More than likely, yeah.
All right, keep an eye on that, folks, because I listened to Cally last night, mate. Banging. I listened to Dan, and I'm not so sure. I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
There's two L's in bollocks.
It's really good. And catch my big match show on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it's
where
terrible.
You will never ever hear anywhere in the world. Well, you might hear it in some countries, not in this one. How you get presented with the results and the skulls. It's a lot of fun, trust me.
Is that the morning show or the afternoon show, or is it the evening show that Dan does?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that again, Nigel.
Been on quite
That
a
was
few
a
shows this
one-off,
weekend.
mate. There's no way am I doing that. It done me in.
Right, thanks everyone for joining in. All the comments, much appreciated. And
Brilliant, everyone. Thank you.
Talking about
Thank you all
cider.
for joining in and listening. Please
What's that,
subscribe.
Have you had this one? Blood orange cider.
yes, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. Quality stuff.
It's very nice. Yeah, I've had that.
orange.
Yeah, very nice. Right, that's it from us. Have a great week, everyone. We'll be back on next Sunday, the same time. And see you later.